Hey guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso, and I wanted to show you guys what it's like here. We're packing, as you can see, just stuff is everywhere. We're supposed to be out of here by the 1st, but the puppies are up to their normal shenanigans. So what you didn't get to see was this little puppy was over here just being super dominant, like super dominant with Tennessee. And so now she's kind of getting a schooling from the from the pack. Cashier's over here watching, just like.
Surprisingly not angry about the fact that
you're not
playing with her toy.
Well, she gave it to her.
Creature doesn't like Velocity acting like that.
Oh, look at that. Yep. See, he's going to get onto her for it. So he's getting onto her for her being aggressive with the puppy. You see now Cashmere is following up. She's letting her know. You better leave that puppy alone. You've taken it too far. You've made your point. Remember how I told you that if Velocity was a leader, that she would be a dictator? That's what I mean. You know, Preacher had to step in. Do you see that? You see that? So she tried to come over and dominate the puppy again, which is by me. And then she saw Preacher looking at her, so she went over to appease him, at which point Cashmere came over and was like, no, I got this. And then Preacher went and laid down because he's like, all right, you got this, not my business. And here's Cashmere continually making her point, making sure that she understands. You don't get to be a jerk. This is my pack. If anybody's going to be dominating, it'll be me. Look, look, look. So she's trying to get away, even though Cashmere technically hasn't let her. Let's see if Cashmere lets her get away with it. Oh, look. So she went back over to the puppy. Started messing with the puppy. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And Cashmere comes over. So the puppy got away. Cashmere's watching. Preacher's watching. I don't know if you can tell, but he's definitely watching. Savannah, put her down. You're disrupting the natural behavior.
She was playing with the wire.
Oh, well, don't let her play with the wire, but.
You go play some more.
Cashmere don't want no part of her.
She's too pregnant.
She's just dominant female. You see Cashmere? Watch what happens. So she ran to Preacher. Preacher gets up. This is not my problem. If you notice, both of my alpha dogs, both Preacher and Cashmere, are looking at me during this whole thing. So the behavior that you will see isn't going to be like they're actually kind of checking with me and making sure that I'm cool with it, because they know that they're only allowed to take things so far as well. So watch this. Look, 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 look. Boom. See? What'd I tell you? So here Cashmere comes in to check her, to let her know. Ooh, see? She's letting her know you know, you need to settle down. You know, you need to settle down. You're causing problems. You're over here messing with everybody, picking fights with everybody. You see? And she completely ignored Cashmere. And watch, see, she's not taking her seriously. She's being a bit sporadic. She's acting too immature. She's not listening. She's being disrespectful. Cashmere comes over, makes her point again. Velocity does mouth licking. Still, you know, really more of a manipulation than anything. Being disrespectful. Not really listening. Still trying to get to Blondie. Cashmere's preventing her. She's got a boundary there. She wants it to stop. You can see she's even given Blondie a look to not continue. And then she comes over. Yeah. And Velocity still hasn't learned her lesson. Believe me, if Cashmere had her way, this would have been over a long time ago. She would have taught Velocity to respect her authority a long time ago if I would have let her. But I prevent that from going so far because I don't want them fighting in my house or anywhere for that matter. And so I really prevent that lesson from being taught as efficiently as Cashmere could. Because it's...
if she taught it how she wanted to,
yeah, if she taught it how she wanted to, Velocity would, you know, she'd have visible wear. Visible wear and tear. Let's just say that. So, keep that, make sure that puppy isn't chewing on anything over there.
Nope, she's just under the couch.
Okay. So anyway, what looks like everybody settled down. Cashmere made sure everybody settled down. Like I said, that's a big part of having a good cohesive pack, is making sure that everybody is relaxing and that the energy level doesn't get too high. Nope. You know, as you've heard in the sayings, it's all fun and games till someone gets hurt, and it's like that with dogs. And so for the most part, it's best not to let them get too amped up. A little play's fine, especially if you only have like 2 dogs, but you really want to avoid very high levels of play. And in instances like this where the puppy's kind of tired, doesn't want to play anymore, you don't want to let your other dog keep messing with them. So, Velocity, psst, get out of her face. Now, go. Psst, go on. Velocity, go. Go on. And so you don't want to let one bully the other. And that's how Velocity is. She doesn't have any respect for personal boundaries. So she will go over here and she'll mess with this puppy. Even though this puppy's tired, you know, she's worn out. She doesn't want to play anymore. But Velocity's over here. She'll just keep messing with that dog and keep messing with her because, you know, she just doesn't have the right social skills. So you gotta... Cashmere was trying to do it. Preacher was trying to do it. Everybody's trying to tell her, you need to back off that puppy. So a little bit of it is good, but she's young. She's got to learn. And as she matures, she'll learn the ways of the pack. She'll learn how she should and shouldn't do things. And she'll get better and better. Because in her particular issue, it has, you know, it's not so much a temperament issue, so much as it's just, you know, she has a little bit of overzealous personality. And then in combination with just not really being socialized the same way that my pack members were, as far as indoors. You know, all these pups that I've got that have been raised indoors, like Tennessee here. This pup's been raised indoors. Cashmere was raised indoors. I raised my puppies indoors. Preacher I've had since, I guess he was 9 weeks old, and I've done a lot of work with him. So, and Velocity will be the same way in time. And as you can see, she's already kind of calming down. Everybody's, you know, relaxing and calming down. So, but I just wanted to show you guys some natural pack behavior, show you guys some of those dynamics. It's really important that when your pack is active like that, that you be watching them. Be paying attention to everything going on. That way, if you notice your alpha, like I noticed with Cashmere going over to dominate, you want to make sure that that's a relationship that can withstand that kind of pressure. Because if I had 2 female dogs... and you know, one of them isn't allowed to push the other one, then I may need to step in and correct Cashmere so that she doesn't start a fight. In this particular case, I knew that it wouldn't start a fight. I knew that Velocity needed a correction, and I knew that Cashmere would be conservative in her correction because I was standing there and kind of monitoring it. And plus, we've been like, you know, as we live together, as we work together, we grow and we... and she learns, you know, the boundaries and rules of how we interact with one another. So it's something that she's learning about as well. But, you know, I wanted to show you guys our girl here. She's really fitting in quite well. In fact, so well that, like I said, she's so confident that some of the dogs feel the need to kind of knock her down a couple pegs because she's trying desperately to show everybody that she's one of the top dogs.
First
so
time she came in, she told Cashmere what's up, and Cashmere told her what's up.
Yeah. She tried to sass Cashmere. And even just now earlier, I didn't get it on video, but she was just straight body checking Tennessee. She'd just run up to her and just slam her body into her. And she's very athletic for her size. I mean, she moves like an adult dog. So anyway, very happy with her. Very impressed. Like I said, haven't figured out a name yet that I feel is really gonna do a good job. So when I do, I'll let you guys know. And we're gonna go to bed now. So I'll upload this. And anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. So Tennessee, sleepy girl. Sleepy girl. Is this sleepy girl? Little baby. Little baby. Yes. And Blondie.
Dropped him.
I'm going to say goodnight. You say goodnight.
No name yet.
Yep. No name yet. No name yet. Alright. Believe it or not, I've had dogs that took longer to name. Name my Cashmere. Good girl. Good girl. What a good girl. She's such a good girl. Yeah. And the preacher. The preacher. Oh my gosh, midnight. The midnight. Oh God, look at her coming back over. And we got the Velocity.
She's like, Velocity,
and the Blondie again. Yeah, look at her. She's like, no.
You took my love.
You took my love. She's like, my bad. Anyway, so I hope y'all have a good night.